Supercross live on supercrossonline.com. Welcome to the city that hosted the 1904 Olympic Games and once again hosts Monster Energy Supercross. Round 13, Kevin Barnett and Jim Holley getting your day started here in St. Louis. And Jim, I'll tell you what, take you back to last week, and James Stewart was the James Stewart of old. What an exhibition.
Well, you saw the tractor on our opening shot there. I think the Dirtworks guys did a great job on preparing a track that, lend itself to that type of racing. I mean, that timing section where James was, making up a lot of his time. He could go anywhere, inside, outside. Track here in St. Louis looks like we got the same type of dirt, and hopefully we'll have the same type of racing. I mean, to get a bad start like that and work up and win it convincingly, I mean, it was a magical ride, like I said.
James Stewart outside the top 10 off the start, and then of course past everybody. And you could see him coming from with about 10 laps to go. He was on the horse, and what amazed me was not only the one section of the track that you mentioned, that long rhythm, but there were a couple other sections of the track where he was gaining massive amounts of time.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to do a triple section that nobody else was doing, and he was able to move the bike around anywhere. I mean, at one point when he made the pass on Barsha, he was setting him up for the outside to go past him on the left-hand side of the whoops, and Barsha kind of pinched him off. He moved over and just still passed him in the whoops on the right-hand side. Well, if you're going to block me on the left, I'll go to you and pass you on the right. I mean, that's just the night that he had. He could go anywhere with that bike.
Huge weekend for Ryan Villapoto last weekend, too, coming home in 6th place, but that was big considering the day he had, no practice at all, feeling sick. He says this week, all's well.
Well, he still got a 25-point lead. I mean, that's a full race on everybody else. Stewart, 39. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are probably hoping something happens to Ryan Villapoto, but Ryan Villapoto said, no, I don't want nothing to happen. I want to try to wrap this thing up as soon as possible. But, it'll be interesting to see if those two guys get out, how Ryan's going to play it. Does he lay back and let Stewart, win another one? I mean, he is 39 points ahead of him. You are looking at your 4th championship. I mean, I think if you're Ryan Villapoto, you play it cool.
All right, Ryan Dungey sitting in 2nd. He's 25 points back. He's within striking distance of this championship.
He is, and like we've always talked about Ryan Dungey, I mean, he'll podium you to death, and another podium for him last week. Although it was a 3rd, if it would have been a 2nd, he could have, shaved a few more points off. But his main focus, he's got to start winning. He's only got one this year. He's got to win, and he's got to, take some big chunks out of Villapoto's point lead.
9 podiums in 12 races for Ryan Dungey. See if that streak continues tonight. In the 250 class, last race for the 250 East for a couple of weeks, and the championship chase changed dramatically last week. Adam Cianciarulo went down a couple of times, shoulder popped out in the main. He had surgery this past week. He is out. This is Justin Bogle and Martin Davalos.
Yeah, the guys who run 31 and 32, I mean, that's it. I mean, Bogle's 5 points behind him, and like you said, I mean, this could be a key race. I mean, depending on where Martin, if Bogle can win it and Martin finishes up in 3rd, that's a 5-point difference right there. They're tied when we head into New York. What a great scenario we got if that happens.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like Pro Circuit was going to dominate. You thought they were going to take this championship on the 250 East. They're pretty well out on the West, but now real questions for Mitch Payton.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, I mean, Bogle, he actually broke a streak. I mean, I'm going back to 7 wins in a row. I'm counting those 2 on the West Coast where we saw Hill get one and Wilson, and then it carried into the East Coast, but Bogle stopped him. But, one thing that kind of sticks in my mind, though, in Indianapolis, when Bogle was on the podium, Bones from Pro Circuits, was talking to some of the guys, and he said, hey, we got to worry about Bogle, man. He came from a long way back. And the thing about it is now Bogle's getting hole shots. He hole shotted last week.
He did.
Picked up $1,000 from Nuclear Cowboys. So he knows the winning formula now. It's hole shot and lead every lap.
And don't forget Justin Bogle in early December, 5 broken vertebrae and 1 broken scapula. He's having a heck of a season when he wasn't even expected to ride maybe at the beginning of December. So we have full coverage for you all day here. Supercross Live, of course, 3 hours of live streaming practice. We'll have all the practice sessions and qualifying as well as guests and lots of fun. We'll also have rider interviews from the track walk and a post-race wrap-up. Edward Jones Dome playing host round 13.